Man, we are a little over a day away. I don't know because I might have to work Friday night, so it's gonna be tough. If I come straight home, uh, what? Why does it show I have 22? It shows I have 22 points. Why is it saying that? That's very strange. Yo, what? Dude, what is going on? What? What? Bro, what? Why are all my stash tabs empty? What happened to my... What happened to all my divines? Dude, wait. My currency tab didn't go over? Whoa, wait, what? So it does just fuck you? We just lost 300 divines? It doesn't add it? And we just lost all of our gear that was in our guild stash from the last league? So all of my gear changes are gone. All of my maps are gone. All of my damage rings are gone. All of my high ticket items are gone. My deepest tower is gone because it wasn't in my inventory. All my gear changes are gone. Dude, that's crazy work, bro. All my omens are gone. All my breach stones, my 120 expedition logbooks, my 200 divine fucking shields I made, and it just brought over all the extra tabs that I bought this season empty. Dude, that's fucking crazy work, bro. I had rings with triple damage modifiers on them with like T1 reses on the bottom. I had I had so many fucking I had a pair of gloves with almost 400 energy shield with T1 crit damage worth like 1,000 divines in a tab, and it's just fucking gone now. Dude, what? Wow. Dude, this is so crazy. That's wild. I was gonna get on and run some maps, but I don't have any other than the ones that are from 2 leagues ago. Damn, bro. That's wild. Oh no. And it's my old Atlas. Wait. Oh no. Look at this fucking setup here. This is where, right here, we failed this stone citadel, but we got an Astramentus out of it. Look at all these fucking towers, bro. Look at all these towers next to each other. This is how we was eating. This looks very different though. I don't remember this at all. Oh, dude, I am not good, bro. I am not good. All of my stuff is gone. All of my stuff from this league is gone. Hundreds of divine gone. Thousands of divines worth of items, damage, mod rings, all my gear change outs for different characters, everything gone. This is all old shit. This is all stuff from the first league. Yeah, we were all tossed into standard league, right? But I bought all of these tabs this league and they're all empty. They couldn't have transferred over my shit. They're all empty. Nah, I got fucking 54 div. I was up to like 460. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but I was gonna give all this shit away. Like, there's people that still play standard, right? And I had like shields worth few hundred divine, gloves worth like 1,000 divine with like 400 energy shield and T1 crit damage and like, yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it, but it's like, damn, bro. You know what I mean? Okay. So I have I have given it some thought. And I know what my end game build is gonna be, but I don't know what my league starter is gonna be. Like, well, good thing I have all these arbiter runs in here from standard. I'm pissed though. I'm pissed because dude, I had a like a bunch of deepest towers that were going to be removed from the game. So they were going to be like incredibly valuable in standard, and now they just don't exist because they just deleted all my tabs. I had armors worth fucking hundreds of divine, hundreds a piece. But and I was just going to give that shit away. Like, I was gonna find the first person that I logged on to standard that wanted to trade. I was just gonna throw them like 300 divines, fucking have fun. You know, I was just gonna give away gear, but I can't do that now. They made some emergency patch notes last night and nerfed many things in the game. Hold on, bro. I did not see this. Okay. Okay, so Perfect Strike got nerfed. The Whirlwind builds were already nerfed. Combat Frenzy. Okay, Combat Frenzy's dead. All right. So fuck it. Let's see. Let's see if this build, even before the actual nerfs take place. Let's see. Can we kill? Dude, that's wild, bro. I don't I don't see the Oh, they nerfed the Gemini bow by 1 physical damage and zero point 0.1 attacks per second. That was like a glorified nerf. Bro, like that's a difference. That's a difference of like 6 damage. I mean, they nerfed it by 1/73rd of its damage. They nerfed fucking shield charge by 80%. So if I was a Deadeye, I would probably just fucking take that tiny loss and run with it. I wouldn't bitch about it. Because if they're gonna nerf it anymore, I would not encourage them to. Because I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yeah. Well, because, dude, Voltaic Mark is gonna be an entire fucking build. You can just cast a Voltaic Mark and it's just going to continuously mark enemies and explode throughout the map, dealing elemental damage of every fucking type. Like, that's insane. And then, what people also don't realize is even the sprint mechanic itself is geared towards Deadeyes and shit like that. Because you think about it. What did they say? They said that when you sprint, if you are hit, you get knocked down. So if you're an evasion build, you will have a 90% chance to not get knocked down when you sprint. But if you're any other build, you're guaranteed to get knocked down. So that's like just another one of the many ways the game is geared towards them. And the way I understand it, sprint is going to be a percentage of your movement speed, and warriors already, because of the strength based armors, have the lowest reduction, well, the highest reduction to speed. Basically, with the most movement speed you can get on boots, wearing this gear, if you look at my movement speed is only 20.9% increased. And I have 30% movement speed on my boots. So I have a 30% increased movement speed, but I'm not even getting 30% increased movement speed. But if you take this off, this armor off, it goes up to 26%. Oh, it's not just chest plate. Shield, that's 4% reduction. This helmet, like your chest piece, your shield, anything that has like high armor, I'm pretty sure. So since it's going to be based on your movement speed, so you're going to get a percentage increase of your movement speed when you sprint. Everyone is going to sprint faster than warriors too. Base movement speed is 30% slower than the other classes. You're going to end up with like 80% slower sprint. All right, I am not feeling confident about this, but let's see what kind of damage we can do. All right, it's not terrible, but the nerfs haven't hit yet. Yeah, but like I said, we haven't got nerfed yet. The damage is still there. So without Deepest Tower, we're still viable. But when our base damage gets nuked by 80%, it's going to be pretty rough. Aw, you making me blush. You making me blush. So do you want to hear my end game build idea? My off the wall baddie fucking masochist idea of a build? Wow, what fucked rolls. Oh, okay. So I don't know if I have. Oh, they took my fucking unique tab, so I don't have one now. Let me see if I had one. Because I think the item's somewhat new, so I don't think I have one. Aha. So this armor, it is going to say that you deal cold thorns damage equal to 10 to 18% of your maximum mana. So we're going to, like, obviously isn't going to be our league starter because the gear is going to be so hyper specific that it's going to be next to impossible to attain it and do it. But we're going to use one of two things. Oh, that's right. I don't have any of my gear switch outs. Fuck, I was going to test this before I did it, but I don't have any of the gear anymore. But anyways, so we're going to use that armor and that's going to gain us cold thorns damage based on our mana. We're then going to get rings with as much mana as possible, and we're probably gonna have to sacrifice something somewhere. So, like, ideally, the ring would look like max life, max mana, mana regen, and like fire res, lightning res on one, and like max life, max mana with cold res and all res with mana regen on the other. And then we're going to use. Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. We're going to use Crown of the Pale King for the thorns. We're going to use a shield with thorns, the thorns crit boots, and then I'm thinking the we're either gonna have to use a regular belt like this to cap our resistances, or we can lean into using that new belt to get like lightning thorns, and then we're gonna use a wand that gives us extra damage as cold, lightning, and fire, which will further scale our thorns because it will give us whatever our thorns damage is. It's going to give us 90% of that as extra elemental damage. And then we're going to run mind over matter so that our damage is taken from our mana before our life. And we're going to run a blood mage with chance to bleed, and we're going to curse enemies, and our elemental thorns damage will help the bleed magnitude. So we're going to be basically applying bleed with like elemental thorns, and then we can boost our physical damage with this node changes to like consumes 40% of your flasks and gives you 1% extra damage as physical damage per flash charge. And then we're going to use this node so that like 25% of our life lost from hits is prevented, and like it goes over time. And we're going to have life remnants and mana remnants. So then we're going to focus on getting as much thorns damage as possible, and we're going to focus on taking like where the fuck is it? Nodes like this, damage taken recouped as life, mana, and energy shield. Um, and we're gonna get like our thorns leeches life, and then we're gonna be able to overfill our mana with mana remnants and overfill our life with life remnants, and we're gonna have life leech. We're gonna have damage. And oh, that's right. No. We're gonna use this belt. We're gonna use this belt. I forgot. We're gonna use the midnight braid, so that 50% of our damage taken is recouped as mana. So our damage is taken from mana before life, and then our damage taken is recouped as mana and life. So then, like, as we're taking damage, we're recouping our mana and recouping our life, and we're leeching life, and we're overfilling our life and overfilling our mana. But the only problem is we're going to have a unique helmet, a unique armor, unique boots, unique belt. So we're going to lose like 200 thorns from the belt. But I did the math, and if we can attain 2,500 mana, then we'll actually get as much from the chest as we would from a thorns chest and a thorns belt. So that's like a wash. And then, hear me out, there's more, but wait, there's more. I was thinking about using snap so that when we deal like sufficient cold damage to freeze an enemy or whatever ailment, it like causes an explosion to help with like map clear, or some sort of like cast on ignite or cast on ailment thing. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Fragment. Flame will ignite.
right now it's called Cold Snap.
Explodes the ice on frozen enemies, dealing a lot of damage in a small area. You can also cast it on a frost bolt to explode the bolt and deal damage in a larger area. Cold Snap explodes the ice on frozen enemies.
So basically, it's been reworked to where you can like explode the ailment on an enemy, and as long as I have that wand, it's gonna multiply. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna multiply our elemental damage, and the armor gives us cold thorns damage, and then the wand will give us cold thorns damage and fire thorns damage and lightning thorns damage, and then we're gonna socket all of our gear with the lightning thorns runes. So we should, in theory, with our thorns, be able to apply ailments of some degree, and then use snap to explode the ailments from our thorns, helping our clear of like other enemies, maybe. Eh. So I'm gonna go here because this is like a huge chance to inflict ailments boost, and then there's also There's something else somewhere. I was looking into it. I honestly, dude, I'm just spitballing at this point. Yeah, yeah. But that's the basic premise. So I'm thinking if I can get all these nodes, so we get like damage taken, recouped as life, mana, and energy shield. Um, we get 20% of damage taken, recouped as mana, and then we get these nodes as well, right? So that would essentially with well, I guess we don't need them. We might need the mana regen though. We You think Chronomancer? That's right. One more fucking day, bro. I was just thinking Blood Mage because you could overflow your life and your mana, and then you could get all this recoup, and you're also like able you're able to get to the thorns nodes like relatively easily. But I mean, I don't know. I guess it's doable on either really. And I already workshopped the name. It was going to be like cryocapillaries, so like frozen veins, because it's going to cause them to bleed and they're going to be frozen and like explode. But I wanted to use, I kind of wanted to use Herald of Blood too, but I can't with a wand. So I would kind of either have to lean into getting a two-handed mace and use Wind Dancer and Thorns, and then I could get physical attack damage leached as mana and life, and have the mana and life leech with the mana and life recoup, and the overflowed mana and life, and I don't know. Again, just spitballing here. I don't know. Yeah, we definitely need to see the new passive tree. I think that is also going to kind of be contingent on if we roll one way or the other. God, dude. So crazy that they fucking just nuked my stash tabs. All these are empty. All these stash tabs are empty. All items gone. I don't know. I mean, I don't even necessarily care what the new passive tree shit is, as long as it's interesting. Like that's it could be complete dog shit as long as it sounds interesting. I would actually I would just prefer, instead of them adding new nodes, just take away all the negative shit on this side of the tree. Just delete the text lines of reduced everything. If it says reduced, just fucking delete that. Yeah, I mean clearly. But hey, they did nerf the Deadeyes. They did nerf the Deadeyes. They nerfed Gemini bows by zero point 0.1 attacks per second and 1 damage. And they nerfed Combat Frenzy. But this is okay. This is my question. Added a new keystone passive skill to the northwest of the witch slash sorceress starting location. Black Flame Covenant. This keystone causes fire spells to convert fire damage to chaos damage, with this damage contributing to ignite chance and magnitude, and ignites inflicted with these spells dealing chaos damage. What's the downside? What's the downside to the keystone? Does it like make your ignite chance 1/3 of the ignite chance? Like you ignite enemies 1/3 as often, or what? Fire damage no longer inherently has a chance to ignite. Instead, it inflicts flammability on the enemy based on the damage dealt. Oh, right, right. They just placed it in the wrong spot. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just curious because it's got to have one, right? It has to have a downside. It has to. It's a key. It's a keystone. Like they all have downsides. I don't know. I'm just curious to see what the changes bring. I because it might completely change my entire outlook on what I was gonna play. But I do think for our end game build that 100% we're gonna try and put together a cold thorns bleeding build. Although I didn't think about Chronomancer No, I don't want anybody to. I don't want anyone to have downsides either. But I also want everyone to be equal. So if everything else has a downside and you wanted to nerf Giant's Blood so hard, you need to put downsides on the new keystones. Because they can't, they don't, Giant's Blood isn't like optimal, it's mandatory for mace skills. It's mandatory, it's not optional. It's not like, oh, this is a cool fantasy. Like, I want to be able to use a two-hander in one hand. It's like, if I want to kill shit with a mace attack, I need to be able to, it's literally twice the stats of a one-hander in every category except for like reduced attribute requirements and strength that rolls on it. Everything else is doubled. The damage is like more than doubled. Like a T1% fizz with a T1 flat fizz and a T1 fizz accuracy split on a one-handed mace is going to probably come out to somewhere around 530 damage. And those same stats on a two-handed mace is 1200 to 1300 damage. So it's like a huge difference, like a pretty big difference. So you're gonna want that on every mace build. Now, if you were doing shield builds, you could get away with using a one-hander. You could make it work for sure. Like it wasn't. I mean, obviously it was way better to have a two-hander, but the stats you need are just melee skills and elemental damage to attacks. So like you could get away with running 5 to melee skills and fucking 79% increased elemental damage to attacks if you wanted to. You could get away with that. No big deal. But now I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. I think personally, well, I hope. I mean, I'm smoking hella hopium and copium over here, dude. I'm hoping if they look and they see that like the player base used to be whatever percent of played warriors, and it like goes down to 0.8% of the player base is playing warriors, they'll take like a deep hard look at what they did and go, oh shit, that's why no one's playing warriors, because we fucking butchered them. You know? And now, again, another change. They changed Svalin, right? They changed the Svalin shield because with those changes, they had to change the shield because basically, with the way it was, you wouldn't gain any increase in your block chance by equipping a Svalins because you would go from 50 block chance to a maximum of 30 block chance being lucky, which would be 51% increase, which would be 51 block chance with the math. So they had to change it. So now, if you look at the new patch notes, where's it at? The Svalin shield, instead of reducing your max block, you take 15 to 20% of damage from blocked hits. So now, as a Warbringer, you could get 75% max block chance and have your block chance be lucky. But even though you're blocking all the hits, you're taking 50% damage from every hit ever. So basically, you're not blocking hits. You're just like having damage reduction. Like you just get like 50% damage reduction. So then you would like spec into that what's the thing? The jade hair the jade shit and like further your damage reduction. So like you're really not necessarily like blocking the hits, but you can stack like a pretty decent amount of DR between that kind of. So that's going to be interesting to see. I thought they would like I brought it up in a video because I felt like they just fucking forgot about Svalins, and it's like that's going to be absolute dog shit with the max block being 50%, because then it's going to reduce you to 30%. But they did change it, so like kudos to them for like figuring that out. But then you also got to think, if you want an easy way to get your block chance up, you would take nodes that like make you take damage from blocked hits. So I don't know. You're going to have like a pretty stellar investment, because I imagine, this is just me speculating, because they dropped the max block chance to 50, they went through and edited every block chance node to, instead of being like 5, 5, 12, 5, 5, 10, it's going to be 3, 3, 8, 3, 3, 9. So now you're going to have like an astronomical investment into block chance to reach 75%. Because I can't see them reducing the maximum block chance and then just making it super easy to get to 50% block chance. Because that's like not their MO. But I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to leave everything as it is. And then it's just going to be like the same amount of effort to get 75% block chance on a Warbringer. And you're going to have like, again, not really block chance, but like you're just not going to take the full damage from hits. So in a way, you could go like a Warbringer with evasion and deflect and reduce the damage you take from the hit even further, and use a shield. So you could be like evasion, deflect, block chance build, and maybe be immortal. I don't know. Like, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. There could be some cool shit. Uh-oh, I hear a baby awake. She must be done napping. And yes, 50% damage reduction is kind of nutty, but when you compare it to the Warbringer used to just be able to block every hit in the game at 75% block chance, and now everyone gets to block every hit in the game except for flashy ones at 50%, and the Warbringer basically doesn't get to block anything. They just take damage from every hit. That's like essentially not blocking. So it's like a nerf. Instead of taking 0 damage 50% of the time, you're taking 30% damage 75% of the time, and then full damage 25% of the time. So it's like the same thing as just having 50% block chance and not taking damage from hits. It's like essentially the same thing. I'd have to work the math out, but who knows? Again, I'm going to go in with an open mind. I'm going to try and league start Warbringer and see how it goes. But the ultimate goal is the Cold Thorns build. That's like the fucking ultimate goal. Make some nutty ass off the wall build. And honestly, like the main pieces of the build are going to be the helm, the chest, the belt, the boots, and like the builds online. The only thing is, I'm going to have to get like crazy specific shield, rings, gloves, and amulet to make up for rocking the majority of my items being uniques. Like, I'm going to have to figure some shit out there, but well, we gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. Um, I don't know if they changed the values of the armor, but right now, as it sits, it has fucking 67 armor and 28 energy shield. So basically, nothing. So you're gonna be using a chest to get thorns damage, and you want enemies to hit you, and it has no defensive properties whatsoever. It basically gives you nothing. Yeah, and the helm and the boots basically give you nothing. Yeah. Yep. Well, but that's why I said we're going to have to focus on stacking mana and life and then getting as much fucking recoup as humanly possible. And I wouldn't say so much a glass cannon build as it's like a glass wall of spikes. So, and I don't know if that analogy really sounds good. Like, yo, I want you to hit me in order to deal damage, but I'm like super fucking squishy, dude. Like, I don't know if that sounds good. Well, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about anointing this node. So at least it would only be over 6 seconds, right? And then our thorns, leeches life, and we can make the life leech instant, basically. So we wouldn't be able to use flasks at all. Well, I'm gonna have more than just the cold thorns. I'm gonna have physical thorns as well. And this this node, this node here got changed to gain extra damage as physical when you consume your flasks. So I would imagine all my elemental damage. So like think about it like this. We're going to have physical thorns and we're going to have cold thorns. And then in our armor we're going to have socketed lightning thorns. Then we're going to use a wand that gives us extra damage as lightning, fire, and cold. So all of our damage is going to get scaled by 30, 30, 30 in a perfect world, elemental. Then in theory, this would give us extra damage as physical, which should double dip. So we're gaining the extra damage as elemental, and then all that elemental damage would be gained as extra physical damage. I don't know. It's a fucking theory, and I don't know. Hey, quick little 35 Diverinos for a T1, T4, T1, T1. Damn, I should have whittled that. I should have whittled that fucking 8 dex for something. Oh my god, that ring is fire. Uh, that's a good question. I honestly had not thought about it. Dude, this has got to be the greatest level 44 ring in the game. Life and mana per enemy killed, mana regeneration, fucking 45 fire, 22 fizz with 115 max life at level 44. Jesus Christ. I don't know, bro. I I would imagine. I'm getting ready to get off. My daughter's awake, and I gotta spend some time with her, and then go to bed for work. Maybe we'll do, depending on what I hear tomorrow. Um, and this is such bullshit, right? So I've never asked for a day off without like taking a personal vacation day. I've never ever asked for someone to take my spot at work. But the guy who does my job on first shift has not worked a single solitary weekend since he started with the company. And now this guy is quitting Friday to go to another job. So they worked with this dude and gave him every weekend off, and he fucks the company and goes to another job. And here I am, and I ask for one time, someone to cover my spot. And without even making any phone calls, my boss just tells me, yeah, no one's available, dude. Sorry. No one's available, bruh. Just can't help you, big dog. Sorry, dude. I mean, I know you've worked like fucking obscene hours forever for us, and you never really like wanted me to take your spot, but get fucked, big dog. God damn. Man, we got some shit in here. Man, I'm so pissed that they did that. Oh no. No, 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 no. Bro, by all means, by all means, if you have a better opportunity, go. I'm not knocking the dude for leaving the company, right? I'm just saying that this dude started as a supervisor. He was hired as a supervisor from the street. And I worked my way from a temp worker all the way up to supervisor, never missing a fucking day, never asking for time off. This guy was just given a spot, probably given raises that I didn't get because, they hired him and he probably negotiated a certain wage and never had to work a weekend. And they let this dude do whatever he wanted and helped him out. Oh, thanks for joining our company. Don't worry, we'll make sure you have weekends off. But fuck the dude that's put years in. This guy's only worked for our company for like 2 months, and then he quits and goes to another place. Good. Makes me want to do the same thing. Obviously, the company don't give two turtle shits about me, so why the fuck should I care? It's just one of those things like I pay my fucking dues all this time, and get nothing for it, but they want to like just stroke this dude off, like, you're the fucking man, glaze, glaze, glaze. Please work for our company, and then you're like, you know what, dude? Hey, thanks, but deuces. Thank you for being super cool and working with me at every turn, but yeah, yeah, get fucked, bro. Hope you have a replacement. Damn, this is the kind of ring we need on this other build. Mana per enemy killed, mana regen, fucking big nasty mana roll. Oh, dude, where's that fucking ring Oh, dude, I wonder if I still got it. Now, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. If it wasn't if it wasn't for the fact that like my daughter's got to eat and I got to pay bills, if it was just me, oh, bro, I'd have been out forever. It would not be the first time. Like, dude, I've lost so many jobs just because of my inability to keep my fucking mouth shut when I disagree with something. That it creates like inner conflict. Like, I feel like a bitch because I'm letting them do me like this. And like me 5 years ago would have just blown the fuck up and just start slapping people on my way out. Why are your comments not showing up? Like, I see it, but then it doesn't show up on my fucking thing here. Hold on, man. There we go. Yeah, no, I had it as top comments. Yeah, dude. I agree with you. And what's so crazy is when I first started with this company, I almost got fired because this dude was like sneak dissing me for about a month, and I had just gotten out of jail, and I was in this like I can't let nobody disrespect me. And I called him like a bitch made fuckboy and told him like let's get there then, don't just sit there, get there. And my boss was right behind me. I'm like, "Oh, that's it. I'm getting walked out." But somehow, some way, I'm still here. Well, boys, I think I'm going to hop off. I've had enough disappointment for the day. I guess it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, I wasn't going to use any of this shit in my stash, but I really wanted to bless some people that are new or that wanted to play in standard. I was just going to give away like the 300 div I had to the first person that traded with me. I was just going to give them to them and be like, "Here, fucking have fun." But yeah. No, I just meant some fucking rando. Like these two guys that traded with me today. Just fucking, here you go. Need anything? Boom, take it. And like some of them, it wasn't even that I wanted to sell them. It was the fact that they were like the best crafts I've made in the game, and I wanted them as like a memento. Like those shields and that pair of gloves with the fucking super high energy shield and crit damage on it. Like my triple fucking T2, T1 damage mod breach rings. Like, dude, the amount of time I spent crafting. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, look at the fucking energy shield on this. Oh yeah, fucking energy shield so high. Oh fuck. Oh my god, dude, I lost all those evasion energy shield armors that with like 1400 evasion and 500 energy shield with fucking tri-res on the bottom. Yeah, dude, go make that fucking video, dude. Stop making fun of me. Oh fuck. Look at this one. T1 flat, T1%. Oh fuck. Man. Oh, you know what I'm most upset about though? I had 3 one-handed maces with like over 400 fucking damage on them in my stash. I had one with 480 fizz damage on a one-handed mace. And I really wanted to test that in this when the league started. I saved it specifically to see if a one-hander could even deal damage. And now it's gone. A league of their own. They were ahead of their time. Ahead of their time. I gotta have one in here. Come on, man. Well, let's log out and log back in and see if it shows up. I know my divs ain't showing up. That's dead as fuck. Why would you not just compile the currency tab? Nope. All right. Well, boys, it's been real. It's been fun. This was the bow we made my buddy. This was the bow we made my buddy last league in standard. I fucking whittled that T2 fizz accuracy split on that. I did that. I fucking did that. Look at this bow. We did this before crit builds were fucking popular. We knew. We knew. I fucking did that. And you see these gloves? These gloves right here? These were GG. And I accidentally fucking slipped off my character and chaosed my gloves like 6 times and took T1 Fizz and the fucking 2 to melee skills and turned it into 1 because I was just chaosing shit in my inventory. Yeah, I did that. Or wait, or we're. Never mind, no. No, that was a different pair. It was these gloves. It was these gloves. I took the T1 off of. Fucking sad. T1 Fizz on these. I remember it like it was yesterday. Alright, boys. Sorry, Cryptolo. I'm actually getting off right as you're getting on, brother. But hopefully tomorrow, league start goes off without a hitch. Yeah, no big deal, bro. You missed the talk of the endgame theory build. But I'm probably going to release a video on it once the passive tree comes out. We're going to be using cold thorns from that, like the mana, your mana, 18% of your mana is dealt as cold thorns damage, chest piece, and using a bunch of flat mana and percent increased mana. And then we're gonna use mind over matter with mana remnants and life remnants on the blood mage to overflow our life and our mana and use a bunch of damage taken recouped as mana and life, and use the midnight braid belt, which gives us 50% damage taken recouped as mana. Oh wow, that's very pretty.
Yeah. Papa did me Anna.
Yeah?
Papa did it.
Papo did that?
Yeah. I can't get it out.
You can't get it out.
And what was that?
What is? Her hair?
Yeah.
You want it out?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are pretty braids.
Yeah. Huh?
I would keep them because Daddy cannot braid. You're going to want them put back in 5 seconds after you take them out. And Daddy can't do that. He can barely braid your hair.
Oh, okay. I do it.
But yeah, we're going to try and make like some crazy shit. Yeah. Oh, she's pissed about Giant's Blood nerf. Ain't that right, baby?
Yeah.
See? Told you.
Hold on. Hold on. My hands.
Tell him, baby. Say buff warrior.
But or.
That's right.
Okay.
But alright, guys. Seriously, I got to get off here. Love you guys. Appreciate you. We're going in with an open mind and a fucking plan. And we're going to get it done. Alright, y'all have a good one. You already know what it is. You are enough. Stay blessed. And as always, stay mouthy, mother lovers. We'll see you.